Il protagonista di questo highlight è Samuel Keller, uno dei più grandi esperti di arte contemporanea. Dopo aver diretto 20 edizioni di ArtBasel, la più grande fiera d'arte in Europa, nel 2008 Keller è passato a dirigere la Fondazione Beyeler di Basilea, il più importante museo svizzero di arte contemporanea. In occasione di questo incontro esclusivo con TVN, Keller ci apre le porte del museo per parlare di arte contemporanea, dei prossimi progetti della Fondazione e della collaborazione con gli altri importanti musei internazionali. Buona visione!
The museum has been praised that artworks look better than anywhere else in this museum, and I think this is part because the works are presented in a good way, but it's part also because the viewer feels very good when he looks at it. It's very well integrated in the landscape. It's surrounded by a beautiful park, and Renzo Piano managed to create a magic harmony between nature, architecture and the art. Then he made a very light building with a roof that lets in a lot of natural light. So actually you're in a very serene atmosphere. He managed to make a building where nothing distracts the eye. There's very few things that are not necessary to show art. So everything is focused on how to present art in the best way. And it's a museum that at the center is the art experience between the viewer and the work. One of the things that you notice in the building is that it has very nice dimensions, and it has always these lookouts from inside to outside and from outside inside, which make the visitor feel very nice, because he can take a break, he gets orientation, and he feels in a very natural environment. The museum can be used in so many different ways. It is working for modern art. It is also working for contemporary art, so we are showing installations and videos. You can also show sculptures, and we have showed old masters here, Canaletto and Turner, which look wonderful. So to have a museum which is very flexible and can adapt to different kind of art is one of its other great qualities. I think the biggest compliment for the museum is to see that the people are coming rejuvenated and amazed outside, and you always see a big smile on their face. There's no exhaustion after they visited the collection and the exhibition at the Fondation Beyeler. To be active means that you have to change. So what we do, we change the collection, hanging and presentation 2 or 3 times a year. So you can always learn from it again and see it in different combinations. Then we are organizing 3 large major exhibitions every year, one of modern art, one of contemporary art, and one thematic exhibition, often historical. Then we are organizing projects with contemporary artists, 2 or 3 a year, sometimes in and sometimes outside of the museum. We are organizing a lot of concerts, a lot of talks with artists, and so we activate the museum through cultural events. We are also thinking that it is important to bring artists into the museum to work here, and this is one of the ways to have the museum being an active place is to have living artists being involved in the life of the museum. The Fondation Beyeler philosophy is that the museum is where it produces art and culture, which means not necessarily only in our buildings. We are also doing every year public art projects. There's many differences and there's many things in common. I would say the main difference is time. An art fair is very much of the moment. You do whatever you think is the most important art that you can show right now at this moment. With a museum, you're in the moment, but you're also in history. So you also need to have a perspective on time. You have to work to something remains. It has to be sustainable. You are looking over a much longer period than just like 1 year. You in fact think in decades and in century. I would say this is the most important difference. It's so difficult to speak about a friend and a mentor, but also somebody who has had such an incredible life and has achieved so much and done so much for the art world. In fact, if you think that he started in 1945 without an art background and has made over 250 exhibitions in the galleries, has known and dealt with almost all important artists of the 20th century, has been the founder of the most important art fair, ArtBasel, has made major public art exhibitions in the parks of Basel, has made a world-class art collection, has donated it to a foundation, has created this beautiful museum. This is so much he's given us, and we're very grateful, and we try to continue his work and the museum in this spirit. He thought the real wealth is to be surrounded by art, and he wanted to share his passion for art, and him and his wife Hildi were very generous and gave all their collection and to the museum. And so we would like to continue this generosity and share our treasures, and the art experience then can be made here with the public.